Popular MMOs, one of the largest Minecraft YouTubers ever, and he's actually under fire right now for allegedly being under arrest. Now don't leave a dislike yet if you're a hardcore Pat stan or a hardcore Pat hater, because I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be saying Pat is totally guilty. I'm not going to say Pat is totally innocent, because I am not going to make that claim till Pat actually makes a video about this. Then before we get into the video, please consider subscribing, as it helps me way more than you guys could imagine, and I'm trying to hit 5K before my birthday, which is in June. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. And for those who've been living under a rock, I'm gonna give a 30-second recap, and then I'm gonna be going over what I missed because it actually happened after my last video, which I published, I don't know, earlier today. So Pat was allegedly arrested, and his ex-girlfriend Liz has assumingly been actually domestically assaulted by Pat. And I use the word allegedly with careful consideration because none of this is for sure yet. And something I showed in my last video was Jen actually liked a tweet where the person said Pat abuses women, and Jen then went on to say, "I do not use Twitter regularly, and when I was messaged about all this drama, I went to see what was being said. By accident, I liked a tweet that is now being seen in a poor manner. Pat never in the 10 years we were together laid a hand on me." I just want to say this because I feel Pat is unfairly being portrayed. I apologize for adding more smoke to the fire, and I did not want to get involved, but do not believe everything you hear from people who know nothing of the situation. I think she's talking about Eleni, or she could be talking about Eleni Stans, she could be talking about anyone in this, but a lot of people actually thought that this was the clear for Pat, like, oh, Pat's definitely innocent because of this. And what I say to that is, just because Jen said that Pat never laid a hand on her does not mean Pat did not lay a hand on Liz, his newest girlfriend, you know, the previous one. It does not mean that Pat is in the clear, and it also does not mean that he's not in the clear. I mean, this is really a unique situation, and since it's a domestic charge, it's something we really need to wait to hear from Pat, or we really need to hear from an actual, you know, court of law. Something else people are questioning is in the report for Pat, or Patrick, otherwise known as PopularMMOS, you know who I'm talking about. It says that his, you know, height is 602 inches, and he weighs 0 pounds. And anyone, even people with a brain that only works half of the time, would realize that being 602 inches tall is quite frankly impossible, and weighing 0 pounds is just as unlikely. So I decided to go to Eleni's Discord and ask, you know, the intelligent people there what they thought of it. So I said, it says that Pat is 602 inches tall and weighs 0 pounds. Can anyone explain that for me? This person says they didn't weigh him, most likely, and 602 means he's 6'2". That does make sense. If you think about it, it probably was an emergency domestic assault report, aka they had to call it in quick. So they didn't really have time to measure Pat, but that also doesn't make sense because right now, on screen right now, this is Pat's mugshot, allegedly. This is Pat's actual mugshot, and if they have time to take his mugshot, they sure as hell have time to take his weight. Considering everyone thinks that the information about Pat is on an actual legit, you know, website, it makes me question, hey, if they can't get this in, what makes me believe that it's actually legit? Also, if you made this far, please comment down your opinion on Pat and, you know, its entire situation. It quite is a mind boggle for me, and honestly, I didn't want to believe it, and I still don't. There's also an incident report, which I'm going to read to you right now, which is available for the entire public to see. I responded to 911 in reference to making contact with Elizabeth, which is Liz. I contacted Liz and read her Miranda rights, you know, via blah blah blah, you know, you have the right to remain silent. Post Miranda, Liz stated that tonight she and her boyfriend Patrick, aka Pat, PopularMMOS, were drinking at their residence. The two started to get intimate, and during the frick, Liz told Pat that she wanted to stop. After telling PopularMMOS she wanted to stop, Liz said he got angry. It was said that Pat was on top of Liz on the floor and was picking her up and slamming her to the ground. Liz stated that she bit and scratched Pat to get away from him, then accidentally broke a lamp while running out of the front door. Liz ran outside naked and got into a vehicle and drove to 911 First Avenue North. I observed the red mark and scratch on Elizabeth's forearms and abrasions on her knees. Rescue responded and bandaged her injuries. Based on the opposing stories and no independent witnesses, both subjects were placed under arrest for domestic battery and transported to the PDTF without incident. Also, if you didn't know, in Florida, where Pat actually lives, in a domestic case like this, both sides are arrested. Both individuals refused to complete any domestic violence paperwork or provide a written statement or have their injuries photographed. See, I can't speak for the victim, as that's a really scummy thing to do. But in this situation, if I got beat and like actually hurt badly, if I was cut up, I would want to get those things photographed as soon as possible so people knew I was not lying. Because if Liz actually photographed herself and, you know, her injuries, I don't know, on her leg, there's a photo of her knee with a big cut on it. I'm not going to show it due to YouTube guidelines, of course. It's just, it would be nail in the coffin. PopularMMOS would be done. People would be like, well, that is awful and I cannot trust Pat anymore. But due to the refusal to actually give any proof, well, there's no proof that Pat did it. As as of now. And I'm not complaining. I honestly want to see Pat make a response video, and to be completely frank, since he made my childhood, I am praying to God that he somehow proves this all wrong, although I know it's unlikely. Oh, and what I just read to you was actually Liz's side of the story, and this is Pat's side of the story, what he thinks happened, what he says happened. Upon arrival, I made contact with Patrick, and then his last name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce, who was standing outside of his residence at, his residence. Patrick stated to me that his girlfriend, Liz, had been in an intimate relationship for approximately 3 months and had resided together in the home for a few weeks. The night, Patrick stated that the two had been drinking and got into an argument, and she began to hit him and break things at the home. Patrick stated that Elizabeth got into her vehicle and left and was unsure where she went. Patrick then stated that Elizabeth is bipolar and she acts this way often, however, he never calls the police. I read Patrick his Miranda rights via card. Post Miranda, Patrick stated that his girlfriend were having the frick, and she decided she no longer wanted to participate. He stated that at that point, she hit him and bit him. He never stated he touched her or hit her, even out of self-defense. Patrick invited me to his residence to observe the damage. I observed the broken lamp on the ground in the living room, multiple chess pieces all over the floor. I observed a fresh scratch on Patrick's left shoulder, a scrape on his right, a bite mark on his left forearm, and a bite mark on his bicep. Good God. I honestly don't know which story to trust. Now that I've read you guys' incident reports, I'm actually going to be reading an article that includes Pat's mugshot and more information about him. PopularMMOS, a YouTube star and gamer whose real name is blah 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 Patrick, was arrested on battery accusation but is now out of custody according to online records from Duval County, Florida. He wrote on Twitter that he was subjected to false allegations. A police report obtained by Heavy.com says that both Pat and his girlfriend Elizabeth, Liz, and then her last name, were arrested because they gave opposing stories. And yeah, those stories were pretty opposing on whether or not Pat actually, attacked this girl or whether or not Pat was attacked by this girl. And there's Pat's mugshot. As of May 19th, 2021, Patrick was listed out of custody and he was arrested on an accusation of domestic battery caused bodily harm, according to jail records obtained by Heavy. Heavy also confirmed this information with the public information officer for Jacksonville Police, who said yes, he was arrested, and confirmed the alleged charge. PopularMMOS has addressed the allegations on his Twitter page, writing, "Don't believe everything you hear. I will need to address the false allegations soon, and Eleni, thanks for leaking my address and harassing me and Liz when she told you to stop posting about her and you refused. You are a terrible person." Okay, last tweet was too much. Oh, and if you didn't know, in the last tweet, the tweet before what he said there, Pat actually posted Eleni's address to her complex, like the apartment complex she lives in. And honestly, that is scummy no matter what way you look at it. Although, I don't know how Pat's feeling in the situation. Man's being accused of terrible things, and Eleni's done some pretty terrible things to him. I'm not gonna doubt that. Either way, Pat, if you're listening to this video, I hope you're listening. Please calm down, just hold back, make a video, explain everything, please cover everything. Everything I've covered in this video, you should definitely try to cover and give your own opinion for, and tell me the truth. Tell everyone the truth. And if this is all true, well damn, my entire life was a lie, and my entire childhood is basically ruined. If you made it this far, comment down intergalactic spaceship, I don't hurt your comment. Also, comment down your opinion on the situation. I know I asked you guys to do the same last video, but it really does mean a lot. I'll read every single comment. Please don't go jumping the gun and hating on Pat, or hating on Eleni, or hating on Liz, or hating on Jen, just because there's not enough information to make those claims yet. There's stuff we can see, and it's pretty damning, but please wait for Pat to respond, and I'm only making this video to keep you guys updated. I'm not saying to go hate on him, because that would be very arrogant. I hope you all have a blessed day, go do something productive, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Also, if you want to subscribe and turn on post notifications, please do. I can keep you updated on the situation all the way till the end. Alright everyone, I hope you have a blessed day. See you all on the next one. Peace.